Hey, everybody, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, that's right. It's time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people. Featuring, as always, the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey, my heterosexual life mate, David,
Howdy.
and the ever loving AJ.
What's that?
That's our entire podcast today. We're just going to see who can do it the longest.
People just do the Guinness Book of World Records.
Are we going to see how many times we can go back and forth and go, bud?
Wise.
Good.
No, you're the
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh,
See,
I
we
didn't
already
know this one.
fucked
Right.
it. The three frogs?
I actually do not know this
No.
reference off the
Really?
top of my head. No.
Oh, yeah. That was a big thing in the 90s.
Yeah.
These Three Frogs.
It was
with
at this.
blood,
It was around the
Wise,
same
or-
time as What's That?
Okay. What's up? I remember.
When
More than
Budweiser was like still becoming the king, and now they are the king.
One of my favorite
nice.
Budweiser commercials was, I'm pretty sure it was a Budweiser commercial. It was a parody of their What's Up commercials. What are you doing? It was all the like preppy dudes.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Chad,
What are you
Chad,
up
pick
to?
up the phone. Bryce is on the phone. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Speaking of preppy dudes, we're not talking about Budweiser today. That's not the purpose of our podcast. We're going
Good
to
idea.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Anyway,
yeah.
sorry, moving on.
We're going to reflect on our high school days. Where kind of what we did during those times.
Yeah, just, the fun times. What do you remember? What did
Yeah.
you dislike? Again, less about, in my perspective, less about the age and just more about, hey, high school.
So a little context for our age group here. Our high school years would have been what, 95 to
2000.
2000, yeah. So there you go. So little slice of life in high school.
Yes.
Yes. We'll go with
Yeah.
that. We'll go with that.
That's when they should have been. Yes.
Yes, exactly. That's right. That's what we're gonna go with. Those are my fondest memories. They may not be my most recent high school memories, but they are my most fondest. We're gonna go with that. So yeah. High school. Wow. Who wants to start?
I know. What are we talking about?
No, I'm trying to think.
The big thing, I guess, is it's just a bit of context. So the one thing that's interesting is, for high school, you and I happened to start at the same one.
Yep.
And by fluke, there was no planning involved.
In fact, we didn't even like each other before school.
I wouldn't say we
Well,
didn't like each other because
just-
we did the door-to-door
Yeah,
sales
yeah,
together
that's
for a
true.
while. But
Then
yeah,
Dave feels all bad. He's like, I liked you.
yeah, like come on, dude.
Sorry, that's harsh for me to say. We weren't like
We weren't
the best of
super,
friends,
super.
yeah.
Like the closest thing we did prior to high school was dance to Michael Jackson in front of that apartment building back in
Right.
the day.
I was hoping you were gonna say Dance Dance Revolution.
No,
And you guys
no, that
like-
was later on.
You guys
Yeah.
met at an arcade, and you were both really good at Dance Dance Revolution.
No,
No,
I don't
no.
think Dance Dance Revolution
No,
existed back in that
probably
day,
not.
I
did
don't
it?
think so. No,
At least not
took a
around
few
these
years.
parts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
definitely.
it took a
Maybe
bit.
Japan.
Yeah, it took a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's one of the first things I really remember high school because for me, I actually went to a high school that's outside of my normal neighborhood.
Okay.
So yeah, LTC'd it. And yeah, got off at the wrong stop because I saw a whole bunch of other high school students getting off.
Mhm.
And even though I was confused, I'm like, well, shit, if they're getting off, I should get off. And unfortunately, it was not my school.
Oh.
And then as I'm trying to walk quickly up, that's where we bump into one another. I
Exactly.
think you rode your bike right behind me, and we tried to get me on the back, and that didn't work.
No,
And
yeah. That's
again, one of these things, and I totally didn't plan this pretty call out, but it's one of those thank you moments to you because you didn't just get on your bike and ride into school. You and I walked.
right. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And I could be wrong of the lingo, but I'm pretty confident we walked into school. We looked around. You knew one other person in that whole school. I knew nobody.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure in the hallway I was like, so do you want to be best friends? And you're like,
Yeah.
yep. From there.
Total
there.
Step Brothers moment.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've been pretty inseparable
Yeah, we've
since.
been, yeah, that's been
it's-
basically it. Yeah.
Got into
Yeah.
all sorts of trouble. But and we went to. Should we tell the high school we went to? Should we
I don't
that?
see there's any
Or
reason.
was somebody gonna come and stalk you there?
Yeah.
No. But I will say this: us both growing up in not
Different
the,
neighborhoods.
Yeah, let's. So there's a term for our town, London. It's called EOA. Stands for East of Adelaide.
Mhm.
It really kind of means the not the richest side of the tracks.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we grew up, and we went to a school that was much more posh
Yeah.
than we had a right to be.
Oh,
there.
they were posh.
I got
They
it.
Which
sure
will,
were.
yeah. And again, but that's why it's one of those things that it's like a cosmic join that two of us. Because
Yeah.
you imagine us being there without anybody else? Like,
Oh,
don't get me wrong.
Lord, no.
Between the two of us, and I'm sure again, no surprises here. you are far more able to get out there and meet and greet. I just hold your coattails, and it was great.
Come on now.
But yeah, like no, it was fun. Like bump into you first day of high
Yeah,
school. Here we are kicking butt. And again, this is back in the good old days where you had your different periods and everybody had the same schedule.
Yes.
Because that
Oh, so you had periods and then lunchtime.
and
then,
everybody was
right,
on lunch.
right.
Yeah.
And no cell phones. Remember, this is a time, folks,
Yeah.
when you didn't have cell phones. To
Well,
just
there
do
were
whatever you
You had
pagers,
wanted.
though.
Walkmans.
Yeah, there were pagers.
Pagers were a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember for a certain style of student.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
One who was needed to be reached at
Yeah.
Anytime.
frequent times.
Yeah.
Most,
Frequent.
well, probably has way more facial hair than the average student.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
They've been there a couple years longer than they should have been. But
Ni-
hey,
nicer
hey,
clothes.
Yeah.
for sure.
Nicer clothes. All the different things.
His own apartment.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about quite that. Well, I truly don't know. So maybe.
For sure. Yeah, I remember, again, coming back to that line by Zach Morris, high school was great. It's just too bad classes got in the way. It really felt like that, you know? Like,
Well, let me tell you about my high school experience. Growing up in a small town, there was like 2 high schools.
oh, wow.
So there's the Catholic school
Mm.
and the not Catholic,
Catholic
I guess,
school.
the public school.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't think you had to be religious to go to the Catholic school. It was just
An alternative.
they offered different things. The Catholic school for some reason was the French immersion school. So if you wanted to pursue
Yeah,
that
okay,
sort
fair.
of
Sure,
curricular
yeah.
path, then you would have to go. Like I went to a Catholic elementary school
Okay.
because of the French immersion.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
right?
nice.
So
That explains
my,
why you're
like,
so good at French.
my family wasn't all about going to church or anything like that. But anyway,
Mais
going
parler
past
en
that,
français.
Oui,
bonjour.
oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Yeah, I can go right now, actually.
No, that means no, Chris. That means penis. God,
Oh, okay.
what's wrong with you? But no. So yeah, we had So I went to the public school, and I wouldn't say I was very academically good. After probably grade 7 or something like that.
Mm.
See, we had a middle school, so it was 7, 8, and 9 for the middle school.
Mhm.
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
10
boy.
and up for the high school.
Yeah.
But then just before I left grade 9, they switched it, and the year after the grade 9s were going up to the high school.
Oh, wow.
They were doing this whole big changeover
Hmm.
thing. So yeah, I did grade 7, 7, 8, and 9 in one school.
Nice.
And then grade 9
In the next school.
And-
or the same.
because
But
like I said, I wasn't the
the bestest.
bestest scholar.
Sure. Yeah.
So but it was weird because when I got to high school, if you'd passed a class in grade 9 but failed a class, you'd be able to move on to grade 10 if you passed a class. So if you pass, say, grade 9 science,
Mm-hmm.
you get to go to grade 10 science, but you still have to do like grade 9 math.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
required course.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
all fucked up like
Requisite.
that. So my schedule for probably the first year of school was like grade 9, grade 10,
Well, see,
grade 11, and then the next year I was doing like grade 12 drama.
yeah, no, but I always thought that's a
music and
good
stuff
thing in
like
high
that.
school.
Yeah.
That's one thing I always liked about high school because there are the certain courses that must be passed. The certain level of math, science, English.
Academically, I agree, but socially, I don't.
Mm.
Because when
Okay,
I got
somewhat fair.
when I got
Somewhat
to
fair. I got you.
when
Okay.
I mean, first of all, when I failed grade 7, all your friends move on.
Yeah, that
so
is a
you're
shit.
kind of starting over again.
Yeah.
But then
Sure,
you
yeah. I
get
just
to
moved
high
here.
school,
Yep.
and it's kind of the same thing because there was many more elementary schools than there were high schools.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I had 2 high schools and probably 8 elementary schools
Wow.
for different districts, right?
Okay.
So once you get to high school, you're getting all these other kids from different
Yeah,
elementary schools.
You meet new peeps.
So you're going into grade 9 science, and
Mhm.
you don't know anybody, and they're not in your age range, and
Okay.
it's one of those
yeah.
social divide
Fair.
kind of things. I mean, granted, I'm a social person, so I was able to,
Meet, greet, and
yeah,
yeah.
get by and everything like that. But yeah, eventually I took the term high school very literally, very literally. Yeah,
I have to admit, I didn't
spent a
do
lot of time in
much
the bush.
marijuana in high school.
No, we didn't do a lot. Like there was a couple of
Oh,
times
there were a
that I
couple
can
of
remember, but
moments,
it
but-
wasn't like it wasn't a thing.
Oh, I did a lot.
Yeah.
We
Oh, I did
generally
a
just
lot.
ate and smoked random things. Oh, I found this
Oh,
out in the
fuck.
forest.
Well, one of the
We were
worst
not the
things we ever
smartest things.
did. Well, okay. First off, let's backtrack on our education.
Fair enough.
I will say,
Our education.
pretty
heroin.
much. Yeah, I know. We'll talk about the smoking stuff soon.
Yeah.
I would say, pretty much every teacher I had said the same thing. Chris, you're so bright and so intelligent. If only you applied yourself. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what I got, right? And I mean, yeah, there's a lot of reasons that's why that way. But thankfully, I made it through and whatnot. But I remember having to take some courses, not quite like you, where I had to it was all over the place. But there were some courses that I did not excel
You got
at.
to do again.
Yeah, I got to do again. Exactly.
You
Yeah,
liked him
I-
so much.
For sure.
I
So
did grade
happy.
10 math 3 times.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, not me. The only one that I did 3 times was history. And I regret it now because I remember my teacher. Shout out to Miss Leach. She was great. Even though at the time I thought she was not. So she's-
That's usually
she's
how shit
evil.
rolls.
She's a Mimi person. But I took her class like 3 times, and I did not pass. And I felt like what's going on? And again, it was just me not caring. It wasn't until later on in life that I realized how important history is. When I did pass it finally, and I got through it.
Yeah,
it's
because
like-
I think it was required, wasn't it? Otherwise,
Yeah,
you wouldn't
no,
take it
definitely.
3 times.
At least grade 10 history.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just remember like, oh, it was way easier than I gave it credit for. I should have just did this the first time.
Oh, I had
You
a
know what
course
I
like
mean?
that.
Yeah.
That's funny. I had pretty much the exact same experience. I did pretty sure it was grade 10. Grade
Yeah.
10 history twice.
Okay.
Oh,
And
look
the
at
first-
you two. Nice.
Oh, look at
The
that.
first time it was one of those, I either didn't go to class or didn't do the homework.
Mm.
Right.
And the second time, I was doing the whole try to apply myself thing.
Sure.
And it was kind of cute. The teacher was like, you know what? I'm retiring this year. And the greatest gift of all would be if you passed my class.
There you go.
I was like, you know what? You're not a horrible human being. And she wasn't mean like
yeah.
apparently she was a wonderful, wonderful lady. And I kind of felt like a dick for sort of disrespecting her the first time around. So I was like, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
going to apply myself this time.
There
And
you go. Good.
she gave me a nice little
Which-
card at the end of everything.
That's
like,
pretty
thank you
sweet.
for
That is sweet. And that's the thing I kind of liked about high school because I always found pretty much anybody you talk to has had a moment. Maybe not
Yeah.
a huge whatever moment, but little like
Mhm.
moments like that. To
Oh,
you
yeah.
personally were great things. Like for me, grade 10, that was the year that I didn't go to classes, didn't do
Shit
anything.
the bed.
Oh my God. I failed typing for F6.
I know. You
I
fucking failed
failed
typing.
typing.
I did too, but that's because I didn't do any typing at
well,
all.
I didn't go to class either.
I didn't have typing. so-
Yeah. But again, the big thing I love there is we're sitting out there. It's exam time. It's summer. I don't remember who exactly I was hanging out with in full honesty, but I'm just hanging out there, chit-chatting. We're having a great old, bat time. And the music teacher, whose name I cannot recall at this exact moment, comes out, Dave, you have skipped your exam. Why?
Mr.
Yeah, Mr. something.
Mr. Clark.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yep. Comes out, and I'm like, oh, yeah. He goes, no, Dave, just come in here, do the exam, play the saxophone, and
Yep.
you're done.
Yep.
If you don't, you fail. Why
Right.
fail? And it was just one of those moments of,
Yeah.
that's a really good point. Like, I'm not an expert. I enjoy, but I'm not an expert with sax. But if I just show up, try, then, yeah, gotta go. It's head nut.
I got to give credit to Mr. Tom. Similar situation, English, which
Mm.
I mean, I because of whatever media and whatnot, I've always excelled at English
Mhm.
and I made it to like 9 classes throughout the
Ooh.
semester. It was bad,
That is pretty bad.
and I didn't hand in virtually any homework or anything like that. And similar conversation Mr. Tom's had with me. He's like, Chris, I need you to stay after class.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Conversation. He's like, you obviously know this stuff, but
Mhm.
you're not applying it. Now it's the end of the year. How are you going to pass the exam? You know what I mean? Sort of thing. Like, that's a great point. He's like, if you just came in and did
Yeah.
the work, it'd be no big deal. So he actually was really, really kind to me. And he basically said, you know, your biggest kind of gap was poetry. That was my main thing that I was not great at that
Hmm.
point in time. He's like, I want you to do, he basically gave me a task where I had to write a bunch of poetry. So I did it. I did it in a couple weeks. And sure enough, he passed me with a great grade, I might add.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I think that was grade 10. Yeah, there's definitely grade 10 English. For sure. And I was like, all right, but it's because I applied myself and I actually did the work that was
Yeah.
told to do. And it's like, oh man, if I would have just done that, showed up in class.
Oh, the moment you kind of perceive that, because again, similar idea for me. Because my grade 9, I was, proper student, did all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
things,
yeah.
showed up to classes, proper. Grade 10, I was the opposite of that. I was wait a minute. I know that I can fake the signature of my mom, just give it directly to the office, skip classes, and nobody ever talks to me.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Well, see, I didn't even do that. I just didn't go to class, and eventually it was like,
Yeah. I probably
I think
did
we had a cap. It was like you could only miss X amount of classes per semester.
Oh
or
wow,
something like that.
My
And I would
God.
stay.
It's like
I
work.
would stay just
It's
under
just
that.
below that
yeah.
cap.
Smart guy right there.
Yep. That was my grade 10. That was, I don't get me wrong. It's one of those things, and children don't follow my footsteps. But,
No,
like, I have to admit, I am happy that I did it that way. I am really happy that I took grade 10 was my year personally that, yeah, all my classes, I got like 60s if I was lucky. And otherwise, though, I learned a lot about me, about the people I was hanging out
Yeah.
with, all those different things going on. What is it? Final answers? No. But it was that moment I kind of really started to step over.
yeah.
But again, I was also fortunate because, Mr. Clark and other things happening in my life. When I started to go into grade 11, I kind of made that, okay, Dave, you had your grade 10, high fives, good job. Don't repeat it. Like, there is something you need to somewhat work for. And so that's where I have to admit for
And
me.
see, I fell into the opposite trap
Yeah,
where I
shit.
was like, no, I like doing this.
Yeah.
So I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, just barely getting kicked out of school.
Ooh.
And then I turned 18,
Yeah.
got a job,
Ah.
which was paying me pretty well for the time.
Yeah.
And I kind of said,
Don't need to do that.
I know.
Yeah.
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 No, that's one thing. Because again, our class for the starting in the 1995 and graduation of 2000, that was the last year of OAC.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Last one, yeah.
And the beauty of that was that last year for me, again, I just went through, did some extra courses. I think I was only in class maybe half the time I needed to, but because
nice.
the college I was going to, they didn't care about OAC.
Oh,
Nope,
yeah.
didn't need it.
Wow.
All I needed was my grade 12. So,
Wow,
okay,
wow.
high fives.
Same thing happened with me. The college that I wanted to go to, they weren't looking at marks.
Mm.
They were looking at the paperwork. right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
official.
of course.
Yeah.
So I just did my GED.
Yep.
And
There
did
you
that
go.
way.
Yep.
Which was easy as hell.
I bet it was.
Man, it's easy. Well, it's all. I've always been good at reading things and understanding what I'm reading,
Mm.
and a lot of the questions in GED is reading comprehension,
Oh, okay.
right? So even your math is a word question, and the answer's
Oh, really?
always in the question,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
Like,
That's the way they do it.
yeah, like. I understand how that sounds. Obviously, in a math question, the answer's in the question because you put this together and you put this together and you get the
What
answer.
is 2 plus 2
But
when it equals 4?
if you read it properly and understood it, you wouldn't actually have to do the math,
Interesting.
if that makes any sense.
It,
right?
I have to admit, I've never actually seen a GED test. I'm curious now. When we're
At
done,
least
I
that's
might-
how mine.
be curious
That's
too.
how mine went down.
Yeah,
It was more
nice.
of a
Oh, I have no idea.
reading comprehension, understanding what you're looking at,
Mhm.
and applying it to the answer.
Nice.
I almost did the GED, but I didn't.
Just for fun.
Yeah, it's fun. No, after my career, we call that at our high school, it was suggested that I would go to another high school, and
Yeah.
a lot of the reasons why, I had started to catch up on classes, which is fine, but they found that what they were offering in dramatic arts and such, which is what I
Yeah.
was excelling at, they didn't. They felt that they couldn't offer me anymore. So
Right.
there was the next school. Everyone knows what it is here in London, that offers a massively great arts program. So I went there. I think I lasted almost a year there,
Mhm.
and then and it fizzled out. I don't know if I got kicked out or if
Just
I
stop going.
stopped going, but it wasn't the school for me, and I regret it. Well, I should no, I don't regret it. I'm glad that it went the way that it did.
Mhm.
Because the same reason I learned some life lessons because of that. Fast forward a couple of years later, and I said, well, I can't not have an education. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So I ended up going back to school, to adult school.
Yeah.
I dabbled in that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Pardon?
I just didn't do the work.
No.
I did because I didn't want the same
To
experience.
repeat
Yeah.
again and
So
again.
I
Yeah.
just said, you know what, I'm going to plow through and do it. And I ended up coming out very much with my OAC courses and more courses than I needed.
Yeah.
But it's just like, whatever, I just haven't done. And everything I've applied for job-wise and such since, they've never asked for more than a grade 12. But
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what it is, But I will still say, like, the best time was when we went to high school together
Oh, no, we had a
it was the
great
best.
time.
It
Yeah,
was
again,
honestly.
and again, also little things because it's almost touched on it, but even starting in grade 9 when I was the responsible student, everybody comes together. What do? We go down in that little cubby hole and we play euchre, we play asshole. Like we
did that in
so
the cafeteria.
much cards.
Not just cards.
We weren't cool enough to be in the cafeteria. I was part of that group.
No.
No. We didn't
See,
go to the
again,
caf.
smaller. We had that social thing going on in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I guess somehow
You're a cool kid.
You were in
our,
that.
our group.
Well, and
which
it's
I
also
would
about
call-
group. Yeah, it is about group.
Because
You know-
you had your popular kids and your sports kids
Yep.
and your cheerleaders.
Yep.
And then you had the people who were a little less popular on the other end.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
but-
you can't really say hi on
Oh,
this
okay.
one.
See,
fine.
now,
but
the-
I didn't
the
mean
group,
to be popular.
The group I was in, I guess, was a mix. I don't know. I guess you could consider us less popular, but we were in drama, music, all that.
Well, that's what always
anything
Chris
the stoners would excel at. I
Yeah,
guess.
because I always remember Chris was one of the guys, and there was usually always somebody, more than one, but multiple people that have this sort of style where you're not really in a group, you're in
Yeah.
all the
Well,
groups.
I tried to do that as well. I had friends from before high school in a lot of those little pockets, so
Yep.
I would
Yep.
still try to associate with them to a certain degree.
Gotcha.
Right? Like I wasn't going out and partying with the jocks or anything like
Yeah.
that, but I wasn't opposed to stopping by the table and
Yeah.
talking to people I knew.
Yeah,
Like
I had the other
I
experience.
had that attitude of like, who the fuck do you think you are? I knew you when you were, you smelt like pee.
yeah.
Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Just because you're on the football team,
Yeah.
and
Sure.
you sit at this fucking table, you think you're better than me? Fuck you. No,
So
I'll
the person
stop
that
and
popped
talk
into
to
my
you.
head, I wouldn't put anything on him because he actually never did anything wrong or bad, nothing of that sort. It was just one of those. I didn't want to go talk to him. Yeah, like 'cause he
Yeah.
was on the football team, he was full, fit, built,
Yeah.
blah, everything.
Oh, that definitely happened as well.
Yeah.
But there were I guess the people who weren't your stereotypicals on the same teams.
Oh
and
yeah,
all
no,
that too,
for sure.
right? So
Yeah, that's one thing I have to say. I was also lucky in. I had a lot more challenges with being picked on in public school than I did high school.
Right.
High school, don't get me wrong, was I super popular and friendly and everybody loved me? No, but I played upstairs cards. Nobody gave a flying F.
No,
Yeah.
no, who cares?
no,
Yeah.
Exactly,
same for myself.
Yeah. Whereas in public school, what you want to just sit there and read? Oh, and
Oh,
standard
yeah.
public school BSE.
I was actually bullied in both public school and high school. But public school, it's funny because I know my bully now. It's just hilarious, but whatever.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah,
God.
Dave. Do a podcast with him now. No. But it was always kind of the same thing where, like, individually, I would never get picked on. But as soon as there was like a group setting, it's like, oh, he's the guy. We got to go and make look like an asshole. So it was a weird thing. I did all right with it. Well, whatever. I'm gonna stay up. I did all right with it. And then in high school, remember the bully, who I'm pretty sure he was there like 3 years too long, like easily. If you remember what I'm talking, I'm pretty confident.
But
he
either way,
was.
was he the one you bumped into the elevator years later?
Yes.
Okay, I know
yes,
who
yes,
you're speaking
yes,
of.
yes,
I know who
yes.
you're speaking of. Back
I'm
when
glad-
you lived in that apartment.
I know. I'm glad we get
Yeah,
along now, but I had to stand. That was when I realized I had to stand up for myself, and I did. He wasn't like a rude bully to the point, like he was an asshole, but he just would say stupid
He was the
shit.
asshole that would just, you were having an okay day and no
Yeah,
longer
take
an
it
okay.
right down. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay.
You're
I was just
finish.
gonna finish the point by saying, where was I going with that? No, just kidding. Yeah. No, where I stuck up for myself, he was doing something with snow or whatever, and I ended up going inside for a cigarette. I grabbed like a massive fucking chunk of snow right over the top of his head. He got so pissed, chased me around for maybe, I don't know, 2
Somewhat
minutes, 3 minutes.
understandable, but
Oh, sure, yeah, but like, I mean, I was running track at that time, so I was pretty
yeah,
quick,
yeah.
yeah. So he couldn't catch me, and ever since then, we never had a problem. So that was it. I mean, sometimes you gotta. I'm not saying, listen, bullies, don't bully, don't be jerks. But if you got a bully, try to stand up for yourself.
You don't be a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had a bully in elementary school, and then I ended up going to the middle school, which was public, because Catholic.
Yeah.
And he stayed in the Catholic school system, so it was kind of
Oh,
bye now.
bye-bye.
Nice.
It was good.
And
to
then anybody after that was really one of those like I had a fuck you attitude towards. Was like,
who cares?
Yeah, I never. Yeah, in
so,
high school,
yeah,
never had an
call
issue
me
really.
a name
For sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, I maybe was called a name or something, but yeah.
But I guess it's because I
Yeah.
also had friends, right?
Right.
So it was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, so and so was calling me. You're not a dick, dude, or you're not.
Sure.
Yeah,
not
you might
this.
be a dick, but you're the good kind of dick.
You know, or something. Yeah, exactly, right? Like,
For
people who were able to sit there and say, nah,
Yeah.
and that I
totally.
had that I respected and believed that their opinion was more valuable than this guy's opinion. Right?
Well, even if it's
So-
not more valuable, it's just knowing that there are other people out there like, yeah, ignore him.
yeah, that too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
It's a good lesson that you can't please everybody, right?
no,
Not everyone's
there you
gonna
go.
like you.
Right? Like,
So
Hmm.
it's okay.
I mean,
No, it is.
I remember in high school once I opened my mouth where I shouldn't have opened my mouth, and I won't get into
Just one time.
You know what? No, honestly, yeah. This was. Oh fuck! I'll tell a story. We were in English class, and somebody had asked where to find some weed, and I was like, "Oh, so and so
no.
has some."
Dumb.
Okay.
Oh,
But so and so
Somebody-
wasn't in our class, but
Uh-oh.
so and so's buddy was in our class.
Uh-oh.
So and
no.
so's buddy got all fucking mad at me and kind of.
Yelling that
'Cause
out.
you're gonna-
Well, he
Yeah.
kind of came out. What are you doing, right? Kind of
Yeah.
chest puffed out. I was like, oops, right? And
Yeah.
then Buddy ended up coming to talk to me. He's like, let's go outside. I'm like, so why? What are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Beat me up? Like, what's
I'm
that?
gonna share some
What's that?
more.
gonna-
Gonna,
What?
what's that gonna prove? What's that gonna solve? I can
Yeah.
sit here and tell you, oops, I fucked up and I'm sorry, and then you can trust that I won't do it again. Like it was a fucking momentary lapse of reason.
Yeah.
For
Or
sure.
you can fucking get in more shit by taking me outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, yeah, you're right. So, and that was kind of the end of that.
It's yeah, I can
Yeah,
understand it
good
being a
attitude.
stressful moment, but that's
It's good
So
attitude.
I
Good way.
think, but yeah, it was more of a just
it's high school. Yeah.
just why.
Yeah.
I
It's
guess was
Sure.
my whole attitude on it, right?
the thing, and again, looking at it from a different perspective, because again, I have one of my lovely children who is in grade 8. The time is coming, officially a teenager, even though not a real teenager quite yet. And it's just one of those. I remember my parents saying so much to me often, just, who cares what they say? Who cares
Yeah.
what they do? You do you, blah, blah, blah. And I never listened to them. And of course, now being a little older, it's kind of like shit, they were right.
So right. Yeah.
Shit, they were
I
right.
know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like, shit.
Well, one of the best realizations I got, because it's funny, because looking back, yeah, I guess I was a bit popular, but at the time I didn't feel it. I didn't feel popular or anything like that. I just felt
Yeah.
whatever. But I also didn't want to be popular, and the reason
Mhm.
why is because, like, well, these people that I know, and some of them I thought were great people that were very popular. It's like if you had the choice to be popular in high school, or I don't know, the rest of your life. What are you gonna choose, right? So that was really a concern of mine, and it just, yeah.
It should be a concern, but again, I also never want to diminish my children as they're in high school, because
Right.
that is your moment. Like,
It is. Yeah.
I'm sure if I was able in some manner to go back and talk to high school Dave, he would be freaking out about something that happened yesterday.
for sure.
Like, I can pretty much guarantee it'd be, and whereas I look back at the memories of it, and it's one of those, at least for me personally, which is, don't get me wrong, yeah, okay, I remember some of the bad moments where people were jerks.
Yeah.
This shit happens. But also, I mostly just remember the good times.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you there. I would my advice would be, if Max is ever in
Mhm.
that situation, find a group of peers,
Yeah.
And value that,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Don't worry about what the jocks say if that's not
Right.
your,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
peer group or
Yeah.
what the
Don't worry
the
about what the
music
other
people's-
peer
yeah.
groups say. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
right?
yeah.
Not even necessarily worry about what your peer group says, but that
Yeah.
if something's gonna be hurtful, I guess let it be from somebody that you actually give a shit about.
Sure.
And when it is hurtful, do deal with it. And it
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
mean
yeah.
deal with it like, start yelling or fight, but, take that moment. Why? And that's one thing I have to give a bit of credit to schools. I'm, not in them anymore, but I think there's a little bit more of a focus on that aspect of it versus the old school, which
Seems
is,
to be.
I don't care what you do, get off the school property.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I think with school nowadays, I'm sure there's a lot more focus on the individual experience, which is probably the way it should have been. I think a hard point for anybody going through high school is realizing, yes, you've got friends. Yes,
Mhm.
there are people that you should care about going through that. But really, ultimately, you're in school for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you are there to get an education, and high school is your first step into responsibly doing so.
Yes. Well, and that was always the nice thing because, you start grade 9, at least in our region,
Yep.
you don't get a choice in what you're taking. I think maybe there was the optional between drama
there was,
and,
like-
the music and things of this nature.
Yeah, exactly.
But
There's, like,
anywho, you're grade 9, you're pretty much set, and then grade 10, you get a little bit more option, and then by the time you get to grade 11, it's you do you.
Yeah.
With the exception of like English, I think was one exception.
Yeah, there's
as well, but-
definitely. I mean, at least when we went to school.
yeah, fair enough. It
I
could be
think
different.
now it's you have to have higher grades of certain things.
Okay.
Like when
Oh,
when
really?
we went to school, it was you needed your grade 10 math,
Oh, that type
and
of grade.
that was it.
I thought you meant the marks.
Oh, no,
yeah,
no,
I was
no.
gonna say, like some people need like an 80, some
grade,
people
grade
60
level,
or what?
right?
Grade
Okay,
level. Got you.
alright.
Got you.
Because you only needed grade 10 math, and I think now you need 11 or even
Mm.
12 to
Okay.
to graduate.
And I admit, I truly don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
the
again, I
actual
could-
rules
I-
now.
but yeah, I think it's a little harder to kind of fuck the dog,
Yeah.
right? Like
Really?
I don't know, because
With electronics? I feel like it's a lot easier. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean more so in fucking the dog and still being able to graduate, right? Like
yeah.
like I
you're
said,
right.
I only had to get through grade 10 math. I got through grade 10 math and said fuck you math,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it's one of those things I haven't really got too much into. I will soon next year get to have some fun with this as it
Right.
gets started. And like even Sam wants to go to a different school, wants to go to
Mhm.
Beale because of what
Oh
you
my goodness.
described.
So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just it's one of those things of okay, but you're taking on that extra responsibility while
That's right.
you're in this lower grades. Here's just going to be your rules, blah 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 blah.
Yep.
Because again, going a little bit into what we somewhat touched on, it's that high school is for us in our society, that sort of thing, the way we kind of roll. You transition from having limited responsibility, freedom to by the time you're done, it's a you.
Yeah.
Now, it's also not quite the same as when we graduated, because when we graduated, you could easily just start working and get yourself
true.
out there. Nowadays, it's a bit more challenging because you generally need some sort of college or some sort of addition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, of course, along with that, you're trying to buy a house. Yeah, not going to happen. Even rent, oy vey.
Well, not even just that too. There's so many different avenues now too. Like, I mean, if a student, wants to do something in, social media,
Mhm.
and that's where they want to make their career. Are there high school courses that offer such things? I don't think there are. So you know what I mean? Like, there's a very different avenue
Well,
to take.
And I think that's why you need that secondary now, because it's
Yeah.
more we get to that a little bit more of the specialization.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it doesn't have to be university or crazy, 4-year
no.
degrees. It's just
No.
more of that, get a bit more. And I think this is actually somewhat proper. While in high school, you have some options about what you're taking, what you're going to extend out,
Mm.
which is good because you
Mhm.
need to grow, make decisions, understand what you like, don't like. It's very much, it's not too much option. Right?
Mhm.
Like, you can't decide, I'm going to drop, and I know you would prefer this, I'm going to drop all my math courses and just do drama, nothing else. Yeah, you can't do that in high school. You have a bit extra
It's true.
responsibility.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But you could definitely do that in college.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
the
you
only
can't actually, as long as you're paying them.
that's
right.
the only class I went to.
Drama?
Was drama.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't go to music classes or anything like that. Again, I'm not a music reader, so it was really, I did what I had to do, and then
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
So-
fair.
but yeah, I went to drama class.
Nice.
That was a fun time.
Yeah.
I, like
I
science.
did
like
grade
science.
9 drama, and after that, I never really got into it anymore.
No, I did every drama
Yeah,
class.
I went
that
up
was
to I
available.
went up to 12. I was in grade 12 drama when I was in grade 10 science.
Yeah,
Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I think media was always the way I was going to go. I mean,
Did you guys not have any sort of, we called it communications
which,
classes? It
Uh,
actually focused on, it was a really big class in our high school, like size wise. It had a computer lab where you did all like internet-y type stuff, which would probably now lead into that social media avenue. But it also had a mini TV studio
No.
to the side.
no, we did have. I know that the school we went to did have something like that prior to us being there, and I think they had a course in which they were teaching some of that stuff, but for the most part, no. I think I heard. I can't remember.
I remember there was the
Yeah, we
the
had a-
computer class. So I remember that. Yeah. Where
There
you would-
was
they
some
would
sort of filming
development using
thing.
Visual Studio. something or
Yeah,
other,
yeah. Well, they did have a
Basic and all that
a
fun.
dark
But
room and stuff for photography. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
the our communications class was like
Beale, they had that, not Lucas.
Yeah, they did.
a com-
Oh no, you're right. No, they didn't. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, it was like a computer lab.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and
we
then
got
a
off
dark,
topic.
a dark, and then a dark room, and then
Yeah, no,
beside
that.
that, in like the dark room was kind of in between that and the like The TV studio thingy was
No,
actually quite, and this is weird because it's small town,
Mhm.
probably small budget, but yeah, there was like the studio end of it,
Mhm.
and then a control room end of it,
Mhm.
and then it had all the switchers and like dubbers.
Oh
and,
yeah, sick.
yeah, man, it was.
Well,
fucking
see, that's
crazy.
what
I
pissed
have
me
no
off
memory
because
of
you're
that
right.
for
We didn't
Lucas.
have anything like this. I remember hearing stories that the school used to have it before we went there, or something along that those lines. But what that was a piss off because I remember we had a couple of drama rooms, but the one that everyone wanted to go to was all blacked out. It looked like
Yeah.
the Danger Room from the X-Men, and it had a
Right.
control center
Yep.
with all the light stuff. But it wasn't like there was no camera work. It was just strictly for drama. Like,
Oh,
you
okay.
act and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was
So-
more of a stage.
Yeah, which
For
is
that
great.
kind
But
of
it's
thing.
like, well, where are the cameras? Like, with all this sort of stuff. It's like, well, that's just not.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember any. Now, again, I didn't take drama outside of grade 9, but I don't remember anything big like that.
No. It was all stage work. That's what we did.
Being a larger city, could it have been a problem for theft of like
Not at our
expensive
school.
equipment? No.
Well,
no, that was never.
And
really,
to be honest, though, I think, though I have zero proof, schools like Beale would have it.
Yeah,
It's sort of
yeah,
like Clark Road, which is my community high school.
Okay.
Like that's where they had the whole auto body,
Ah,
everything.
yeah.
Whereas Lucas, no
No,
auto
no,
body.
no.
No,
And I
I
guess-
don't think even Beale had it.
Again,
don't
that would
think
be
so.
different because we had all of that stuff, but one high school. or
Yeah,
Right.
so-
Two,
and I think
right?
that's maybe one difference because at least at our time, the high schools sometimes had a bit more specialization.
Yep.
So Lucas was known for the they didn't
Advanced
have
academics.
basic or something. There was
No,
the 3 levels.
It was gifted or advanced or what
was
it's
the
called.
new one, and they
Whatever,
didn't
yeah.
have the basic courses. That was
Right.
not available at
Oh
Lucas.
wow! So we didn't have anything like that. I think
Yeah.
we had. We just had basic and advanced.
Well, and I think that has actually changed because I happen to be looking at my nephew's schedule thing, and that's the only 2 options. Now, it could also maybe be still a high schoolism thing, but
Right.
depending on which property you're at. But
Yeah. No. Yeah. It was all stage work. In drama for our high school, but I think you're right. I think it would have been different. I think they had something more advanced. I remember. Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful and blessed to say that I was able to produce 2 plays going to school with
nice.
with Lucas, which is pretty awesome. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't always get that opportunity
Mhm.
to do that. So to get, and that obviously kind of excelled me to want to do more writing
More.
and other things. So
Cool.
yeah, it's pretty awesome
Yeah, I got involved in some tech stuff.
Yeah.
With some plays and stuff like that. So
Nice.
for sure.
we had the advantage that we were allowed to use the auditorium or the
Nice.
gym.
Oh
Yeah.
Same thing.
We actually had a really nice theater in Lucas. Don't
Yeah,
you
yeah.
agree? It was really nice.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the Tragically Hip played there.
Oh, wow.
Like
Yep.
before we went there. Like
Oh, yeah.
maybe like
Yeah.
3
Oh,
or 4
okay.
years before we went
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
whatever.
before us.
Yeah, but it's like it was really nice. So it was something to work with when you're
Mhm.
yeah. That's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was always good. And again, it was just like the big thing is you guys talk about that. I'm trying to think of my back. I'm like, well, I was always into programming. There was that
Yeah.
one course. What else did I do in
What
those
did you
later
do?
years? Shit, actually, now that I'm thinking about this, yeah,
Well,
history. I remember I actually enjoyed writing, which is weird,
mhm.
but yeah, and I have to admit, for me, it was just for me. I will be honest. For me, the best year was 10. And then I pulled the pants and actually became a little bit more responsible for things
Sure.
I was doing.
Yeah.
I basically just went to the building to hang out with my friends
Oh, we did that
and
too.
go into the bush.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
and smoke copious amounts of
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
green stuff.
Well, him and they were idiots and put us in media class together. They probably should never have done that.
Hmm.
With our favorite teacher, Mr. Anderson. Shout out to Mr. Anderson. Love that
Oh
guy.
yeah, shit.
And I don't know if it was because he liked us, but he slid us along, which was great.
Oh yeah, we should
But-
not have passed that.
No. But to be fair, like anytime there was something to do, we did it. We might not have spent a lot of time doing it.
We got it
we
done.
get it done. And we executed it excellently. Yeah, that's right on. But I remember we were doing, I think was it our year end when we had to do the whole platoon thing?
Oh yeah, I remember
the
the
year-end?
project. Yeah, I think
I think
so.
we were in project. Yeah. So the whole idea was you had to basically take media course. So
Yeah.
you're dissecting media, and you're just trying to take you just take apart movies, you take apart shows, and
Yeah.
find out
Okay.
the symbolism behind them.
Oh man, I wish we had that class.
Oh, wait
It-
till we.
I would've
explain
went
Wait
to
a
this.
that
second.
class.
So, and this was our saving fucking grace that this happened. So, our year-end project, which we had the entire semester to do it,
Yeah.
the year-end project was to basically find like a movie or something
Mhm.
and find how it depicts real life.
Yeah.
That's kind of basically
Okay.
the thing.
Yeah.
So we decided to choose the movie Platoon.
Yep.
A
which
movie
is-
about real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Right.
Yep.
It's a war movie, and we just love the movie. Really, is what it
At
came
that
down to.
time,
exactly,
we were a bit,
yeah, very obsessed. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. But we literally did our project the night
night
before.
Oh, I don't know how many times I did that.
Yeah, and all we did was watch the movie. You put a bunch of stuff about Ho Chi Minh Trail, and about
Yep.
how, oh yeah, these are real
And we
locations.
presented it.
I was
But-
the guy who would choose books to do book reports that had movies.
My
Ah,
God,
nice.
that's
So
clever.
I would
yeah.
just watch the,
The
movie.
movie.
That's clever.
Oh yeah.
Well, the one saving grace was somebody who went before us, and I guess they had some like graphic material and whatever they're going to show, and they said, "Oh, if you're squeamish, you might want to stand out of the room." And like Dave and I, are like, "Oh yeah, we got to say that. We got to show them like something that way, like there's something to that." And yeah, and sure enough, we passed with pretty decent grades. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it was horrible.
We passed. That's what.
That's
what I
really all that
remember.
matters.
You
Yeah.
got through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and no, we should.
My favorite thing of that, and I can't remember her name, but she was a popular one. She raised her hand and asks a question of you. I think she actually called out, hey, and I don't remember the question.
Jen?
Something like that. I think so.
Yes, I remember her. Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
At any rate, asks you the question, and you're like, and you could tell. And I
Didn't
just,
know what the fuck I was gonna
I just
say.
jump in and start randomly saying things. And then I still remember this because afterwards, basically walks up to you and says, "I'm so sorry. I thought it was an easy question. I was just trying to,
Yeah, I was like, I thought I could handle it.
I just remember me
bullshit our way right through
laughing
it.
my ass off, and
Oh,
you're like,
God.
"Oh,
Wow. And up until that point, we were golden. Well, at least we thought we were golden.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Little hamburgers.
I don't even remember doing any sort of presentations or anything in high school.
Oh, man.
I should
I think I
remember doing
did-
a couple."
I think I did a
Did a few,
drama
yeah.
where we had to kind of like write our own monologue,
Mm-hmm.
sort of
Okay.
thing.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I did quite well on.
Nice.
I did a good one,
I-
but yeah, I don't remember actually doing any presentations in high school.
I feel like I did
Fortunately,
a ton of them.
I feel like there
Again,
was, I don't feel like
didn't
a
go to
ton, but there was
class.
a good. I
No.
think there was a good number of them. That's why,
Yeah.
like, generally in things like writing or in the shared aspects. And things
Law.
like-
I thought we did a couple in
we
law,
do.
too.
Yeah, we did law.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we bumped into the law teacher while we're bowling.
I know. Which is awesome.
Oh, and not bumped into him while he was bowling lane. He was working
was
at
working
the
there.
bowling
Oh.
alley.
Yeah, for sure.
I still
Uh,
remember that. We were older at that point.
Mr.
So
Maine?
I think so.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we had a couple presentations in law. I remember that. I felt like if it wasn't math or something, well, no, even science, pretty much math, we had some sort of presentation we had to do.
yeah.
Everything from geography, history to everything. I don't
Mm.
know, whatever.
I have to admit most of those things, maybe, but I have to admit it's in the bubble somewhere back there.
Again,
Yeah.
I'm on the maybe train.
Yeah.
Probably because I
Maybe
just didn't.
maybe
you're
I'm
one of the
just
ones in the
borrowing.
group projects, and I mean this lovingly. I truly do for everybody that was in those groups. Where,
Mm.
and again, it's a classic. You have a group project, 5 people, okay, and when you get together, split up, or blah blah blah. In the end, there's one person that does like 90%.
Oh my God.
2 that do the other 10, and then there's 2 that go, well, our names deserve to be there.
Yeah.
No, dude,
for
I
sure.
wasn't in the group because I wasn't there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Actually, that was one disappointing thing. I wrote a play, and there was some massive trouble in my life, so there's a bunch of school I missed. Whatever reason, who knows why I was missing school. But I had wrote the play for this group project, and we'd all acted it, and I'm sure people edited it and whatnot. But I was directing it and whatnot, and it all went off without a hitch. And then my teacher almost had the balls to fail me for it because of how much I had missed.
Oh,
and
missed
I'm
the
like,
class.
listen, man. I mean,
Man,
I did the fucking work, man.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
did the
Right.
work. People liked it. We
Exactly,
put it
I did.
on.
He ended up passing me, thankfully, but I'm like, God damn, man. Anyways, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I've actually been fortunate. My entire high school, there was never a teacher. Like, there's teachers kind of like whatevers, but there was never a teacher I hated. I have to admit.
No, I don't think there was any for me.
There was ones, that I just kind of, I remember there was an English teacher, just, I wasn't a fan of the class, how his style, but he wasn't a bad teacher. Just,
Yeah. And even with Mrs. Leach, I didn't hate her. I just was like, boring.
I can't say that in high school I had any teachers that. In middle school I did.
Yeah.
So I guess technically high school because it would have been grade 9.
Gotcha.
There was definitely my
Sure.
homeroom teacher was a dick. Fuck, he was a fucking
Oh, jeez.
dick.
It's funny you bring that up. The grade 9 one for myself, and to get the first one, thankfully I walked in just in time. Even starting day 1 was very much on the door shut, locked. Don't
Oh,
care.
yeah,
If you're late,
yeah.
you're
Yep.
absent.
Yep.
Makes me wonder, can you even do that today? Is it even allowed?
I don't know.
You
Who
know what I
knows?
mean? Like, we're just in that time. I was like,
And again, to be
No,
honest,
because they'd get canceled.
Yeah.
and to be perfectly honest though, I actually don't have any challenge with the rule if you're dealing with, a grade 11, 12,
sure.
it's a, and it's you're somewhat through the semester
Mm-hmm.
and you happen to always be late. Okay, you know what? Actually, I
Yeah.
kind of grokked that a bit.
Of
This
course.
is now I'm going to get you into trouble because you're consistently late.
Because you know better and you
Yeah.
still do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
Whereas if you're somebody who this one time came in late, life happens.
All right.
Go on.
Or even if it's your grade 9 first day, cut them some slack.
Oh, I lived across the street from my middle school, and I was late every day.
Okay, yes, you'd be one where if I was the
Every
teacher, I would be a bit more.
day.
That's troubling. That's troubling.
I'd be calling your parents like, "Come on, you have to leave 5 minutes earlier."
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
I literally, I could throw a rock from my bedroom
wow.
window and hit my.
Yeah, at least I had a good
middle school.
excuse because I lived so far away from the high school, and I was taking the city bus with the transfer and everything. And
Oh, high
Yeah.
school, yeah, I lived far enough away from that, but
Yeah.
I lived within the can't catch a bus
Gotcha.
radius.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So it was either getting dropped off or going to school with my girlfriend who had a vehicle, or
Okay. All right.
bumming the vehicle off of mom.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's one thing for me is that, basically for me from grade 5 on, I always was on the city bus going to school.
Yeah.
Always city bus.
Wow, grade 5, eh?
Grade 5, I started on
much,
city
yeah.
bus.
Yeah, I took the bus most of the time too, and because we moved around a bunch too. Yeah, pretty much from grade 6 or 7 we started taking the bus, and then yeah, pretty much through high school.
I took school
The
bus
one I didn't.
Never school bus.
in elementary school.
Oh, that's a lie. I took school bus for one semester where we did the pair up with Central because they were getting
Right.
the construction done.
Yep, remember that.
Yep, I remember that. That was a good time because,
That's a good time. Yeah.
well, the good news was school was done at noon. High fives. You had to catch the damn bus at 6.
Oh, suck balls.
Oh, or
Wow.
something like
Suck
that.
balls,
It was
too.
horribly early, and it was in the middle
That's
of winter to
terrible.
boot. Oh, it was
yeah, it was
rough.
pretty rough. Yeah, but,
But
gone.
you got home at noon.
That's true.
Yeah,
So
it was
you know,
that side of it was. I think that was grade 10 too, wasn't
I
it?
think it was grade 10.
Yeah,
yeah, I
that
think it
helped
was.
contribute to my challenges and fun.
Yeah, I'll say
Ah,
that,
my
for sure.
challenge.
Yeah, it was an interesting time, but I was always late too. And then I think it was just same thing. We were so far away, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, by high
was.
school, if I was late, I wasn't going.
You know what? I kind of fell into that too, especially my grade 10. As I said, it was kind of one of those. If I woke up like, well, or and this is why I love being young. I can't even blame young. I love being me. Wake up. Well, I'm not going to make the class. What do I want to do today? Well, I'll go on in. What do I do when I go in? Have lunch with my friends, chit chat, and then we leave.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's essentially how it
Absolutely,
worked with me too. It's
absolutely.
like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna be late for first period.
Yeah.
I'll go to school, smoke a joint.
Yeah.
See who comes out at first break for a smoke.
That's
Yeah.
right. I remember.
Go back in depending on
Yeah,
what
the
class
the
it was.
mood, yeah.
Yeah, depending on what class.
I remember sometime like, wait, are they serving Mexi fries today?
Oh yeah, that was good
yeah.
too.
I'll go to school.
That and the
I'll go to
damn
school.
cookies.
We didn't
I
even
know,
have
cookies are
good
great.
shit. We had boss ass cookies.
Yeah, the cookies that were not properly cooked or
Yeah.
were supposed to be cooked that way. Fuck
Amazing.
if I know.
We had like the most generic shit.
Oh wow.
Like cafeteria French fries, like the crinkle cut fucking
Yeah,
things they serve you in one of those
Mm.
little paper dishes.
yeah.
The hamburgers that were
Oh,
just barely legally hamburgers.
yeah, I do remember those.
Oh yeah.
You
I
get
remember
you
the
could
fries, though.
get a
Oh,
really
for
good
sure.
breakfast sandwich though.
I don't think we had breakfast
No.
stuff,
we had
did
we had
we?
I don't
breakfast
think so.
sandwiches.
I don't think we had anything like that.
I don't recall because I remember sometimes in the morning, I go swing by to get the cookie if I had a buck or two, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just munchy. And yeah, the fries on the special days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have like days, really. Like
We had a schedule.
like Wednesday
schedule, yeah.
was, such and such day. No, there wasn't any special shit. It was just
Oh
Mm.
everyday hamburger.
no,
every day.
we at
No,
least had
yeah, no.
specials. We had a little bit of a mix.
Yeah, it was good.
Nothing super crazy, but there was a mix.
It was an okay
You get
cafeteria
pizza
for what it
pops.
was. We couldn't get those.
I
Those
don't
I
remember.
don't think so.
Oh yeah,
no.
we could get pizza pops. They were actually pretty good.
Yeah, I don't
That's cool.
recall.
I think they deep fried them.
But yeah, like that's a good example though. The entire high school, I think maybe I ate in the cafeteria once.
Yeah,
feel
me
like
too.
It was rare. I remember
I
I
hung
did
out in the
a
cafeteria, but I didn't eat
I did a
much.
hot
or
pepper.
even hang out. Like I did nothing.
I did a hot pepper eating contest in the cafeteria. That's really my only other than ordering food recollection.
Yeah, I
of-
would go
yeah.
in, order food, go back upstairs
Yeah.
to sit with all of us and play
For
cards
sure.
and chill.
I don't know
Oh,
why you
we-
would hang out in the cafeteria. It
Yeah.
makes sense.
We'd find somebody who had a car, usually me.
Yeah,
And,
okay.
We'd go to A&W and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes.
Oh,
Nice,
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
I will say this: my high school experience, try as I might, was nothing like Saved by the Bell.
Oh
To be
no,
honest, I
no,
could not freeze time.
no.
Oh yeah, couldn't freeze time. But I was, like, because again, as we got a little later in the years, we started to find our right group. We didn't even have lunch anymore upstairs.
No.
We go walk up to the buddies, and again, who had the sister that became my future wife,
Yep,
and just
yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
They live nice and close.
yeah. But yeah, like I can remember that was the big thing, and then of course. Where it used to be, we would, meander at school. We would then just stay at his house to play computer games.
Yeah.
It's true. Yep. Yeah.
And what I always loved about it, he would go to school. Usually,
oh,
once
you
in a
guys
while.
would
he'd
just
stay.
chill at his pad.
Yeah,
That's
we'd
great.
stay at his house, and
Yeah.
his dad would come home, see us, hey guys, and then go back upstairs.
Yes. Yeah. He wouldn't care.
Kind of shake his head a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and there was a
whatever.
bit of that. You're
Yeah.
not touching the walls, right? Nope, not
No,
touching them.
no. We're not touching the wall, sir. No. I swear. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hilarious.
again, that was my place.
Okay.
We
Nice.
You
Just
hang out.
end up, in the basement.
Nice.
Yep. We did that quite a bit. Yeah, a lot of hanging out down there. GTA back in the day, all
Maybe
that
a little
fun
too
shit.
much.
A lot of-
actually.
Oh yeah.
A
That's
lot
how
of
it rolls.
music. Because
Yeah.
I went to school with the guys I played music with.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah,
So
for
it was
sure.
like,
Yeah.
hey, what class you got? Oh, I got such and such. Yeah, you want to go or you want to you want to go play some
Do you want to
music?
go or do you want to play some music?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, usually it was go play some
Play some music. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really surprised by that. Really?
That's why you're in a rock band.
Damn Skippy.
Yep.
But yeah, that was most of my school experience, I would have to say, from probably grade 7, part 2 on.
Oh wow! I have to admit, yeah, I didn't get into a lot of fun until grade 10, and then after that, as I mentioned, I tried to be a bit more responsible, but still had fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I've same with you. At 9, I really tried to put the boots to it.
Oh yeah, 9.
10, I totally shit the bed for the most part.
yeah.
It's kind of like, there's a lot of reasons as to why. 11, I tried to pick things up, and then 12, it just kind of fell apart,
Mm.
and then I went back. So yeah.
I always did good in class, and I did well in like during exams.
Mm.
It was the homework that got me.
Yeah.
It was as soon as I left the building,
Yeah,
it
you
was
were
like
not
I
there.
wanted to
I
leave
wanted
it.
this.
I just wanted to leave it there.
Yeah.
I had too many questions. I was definitely
You're
guilty of
that
that.
kid.
Yeah, I was that kid. And
Yeah.
like the problem with homework is it's like, okay, I get it. I got to do homework. But like if I get it once, why do I got to do the same question 20 times? I don't
Yeah.
understand why I got to do that.
Yeah,
I was like, well, it's because okay, I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
So-
I don't care about your blah, 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 blah.
I remember
Sue
going
it.
through a phase where I kept falling asleep in math class.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes.
But
That
the
was a fun phase.
The funny thing is, they say, well, you need to know this stuff because you use calculators and stuff. That's bullshit because that's literally what everybody has. It's some sort of
Right?
calculator,
Right?
some sort of way to use math without needing to use
That
a
was
brain.
back in the day.
I know,
What?
I know.
No, it was very rare. To be honest, I just remember. I think it was actually like a grade 12 or something. It was just the last class of the day or something, and I can remember going through this lovely period where I would constantly be woken up by the teacher because I would literally be going. And I can just remember once even saying to me, "Dave, I won't fucking hit you." He didn't say fucking, of course. I won't hit you if you just stop snoring.
See, the reason why I never slept in math class. There's plenty of other classes I've slept in, but I have Mr. Lex for like grade 10 math, and this guy is like your old school.
Oh,
Dutch.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he wouldn't hit you, but he was not opposed to smacking your desk with his yardstick.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
For sure. And I remember one kid totally passed out, like gone.
yeah.
And like he smacked that kid jumped up so fast. Was so scared. I'm like, nope, that's not me.
Yeah,
no,
I'm good.
I'll just stay awake.
We had
When he listens to this episode, he will point out how correct he wasn't doing it this way. Then you have just proven
That's
it.
true.
Sorry,
Exactly.
Dave.
Yeah.
we had an English teacher who was fun, and I think part of it was because his wife was the principal.
Oh,
So
okay.
he kind of just. It was one of those classes where it was like, yeah, show up and I'll pass you,
Oh, wow.
kind of thing. Like there wasn't really any homework or
Yeah.
Or
What is it?
anything like that.
What is it? Philosophy?
grade 10 English.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he was one of those guys where like people would pass out. He'd try and get the rest of the class to quietly like flip their desks around or something.
To point the other way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, and then when
That's
Buddy
fun.
woke up, he'd be like, "What the fuck?"
That is actually really cool.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, man. I wish
I don't know,
more
he was
teachers did that.
he was a cool teacher. His name was Mr. Frank, and he would do this thing where every time you would come to class, you would bank imaginary money,
Okay.
right? And he would write it down in his little book.
Yeah.
And then if you got, I think it was like $10,000 or 10,000 points or whatever, you could earn an extra mark or two,
Oh.
or you could take a free period.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, so I always opted for the free period. But it was an incentive to go to class. And I went
It
to
worked.
every single
For
one of those
sure.
classes.
Yeah, look at that. Head nod to that shit.
It must be very challenging as a teacher, I'm sure, to try to get all your, like, obviously you're there to teach.
Yeah.
You want all your students to come into class. And you've got to, like, to be a teacher too, you've got to figure out a way to engage with all your students year after year.
That would be really difficult because I know I learn in a specific way,
Mm-hmm.
but to do that for a class of 20 to 30 people,
Yeah.
to teach
Yeah.
to teach 20 or 30 different people the same thing in the same way,
Yeah.
and have them all comprehend.
It's
It's
an
gotta-
impossible feat.
It has to be.
It has to be. It has to be. I
Right.
can't imagine. And especially, well, I'm glad now. I'm sure it's got to be different. We're learning about different learning styles
Mhm.
to the point where teachers are now dynamically teaching because you have to.
Yeah.
Because when you are teaching the same stuff to people, you have to find out what is their groove. Like how am I going to give this information to you?
Well, and again, it's one of those things where, in general, and this is kind of a good thing. I'm not knocking it. Where they'll come in. This has, I think, always been the goal of teachers and the way the structure is. It's just
Get
that.
paid. No, just kidding.
Sorry, for which?
To get paid.
Oh,
just kidding.
well, part of it is to get paid. They should be properly paid.
Well,
But you come in, you do that general aspect, just as was pointed out, and then you try to get those refined for the people that
fine-tuning.
need it. So
Yeah.
and again, you got to balance it, because if somebody comes in and just understands it, that's great, but you still need to give them something more. Then
Right.
somebody comes in challenged, okay, you need to help support that challenge. Like, it's just one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why there's always been fun things like, and you kind of called this already. Okay, so today for class, here's what we're going to be working on: multiplication. I was picking on that for now. Here's your 500 multiplications you need to do for the rest of the day, class. And the
Yeah.
reason I suspect was they were trying to get individual, maybe,
Maybe.
or maybe they were just bored, wanting to sit at their desk and not. do
Well,
anything.
I would agree, except for I really hate it when they're like, you got to show the work. Like, but I got the answer. But we need to see the work. But why?
Right.
Like, why?
That one, I have to admit, I am totally on the side of
Or,
showing.
or if you show the work on one, why do you got to show the work on all of them?
Nope, you must.
I don't know.
No,
I
when it
disagree.
comes to math,
Disagree.
and again, I've had this. It's funny we have this discussion. I've had this discussion with one of my
Ah,
children.
Okay.
Why? I just type it in here. Okay, that's a good way to check, but you need to work through it. But
Yeah.
why? So you know how to do it. But why? Because this is how school works.
Yeah, I was the but why guy.
Yeah. I mean, if you comprehend it, you comprehend it. Like, why do you need all that trail to continue to show that you comprehend it?
Because you have to show that you understand how you got the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Right? Like
if you-
lo-
well,
like
that's
think about long division
sure,
or something like
which
that.
it doesn't exist anymore,
No.
by the way. Yeah.
Yes, I was bad at it anyway.
So go on.
But okay, multiplication.
Sure. Let's
Where
look
you-
at anything about
Yeah.
math.
Where you get, hey, that's different. Bed mass is different. But
multiplication's in there. So
Well, yeah, it's in
go on,
there,
okay,
but-
multiplication, yeah.
but it's the process of getting to that where you take this and take this and then you add those two numbers if you have
Yeah.
and whatever. But if you just go 20 times 20 is, see, I couldn't even do that.
You didn't know 20? Oh, yeah, whatever.
No, I'm terrible at math.
I will say I am grateful
horrible.
that I'm not the best at math, but I'm decent.
Oh, okay,
I have comprehension for the majority.
I get
I
it.
mean, if you put me and calculus together, I don't know how well I do, but for the majority.
Oh,
of
for
other
somebody who was terrible at
mathematical
long
understandings.
division, I was really good at algebra.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's because I had a tutor
Uh-huh.
when I was in middle school, and he explained it in a way that I got it,
Mm.
right? Whereas the equal sign is almost like anything you take over there, it becomes the opposite of
Yep.
what it
Yep.
was when it was. And that kind of just,
Yeah.
for some reason, unlocked the
All the
secrets of algebra.
Yeah.
But long division,
All the equations and all the fun stuff.
right? How
Yeah.
many times does you have a number like 525? Well, how many times does 5 go into 52? And then you got to do that, and then you got how many times does it go into the another? No.
Man, you make me do the math now.
Yeah, I'm doing it in my head. I'm like, okay, that's 105.
Yeah, 105. Yeah.
Or fractions,
Oh, fractions are a pain.
multiplying,
Yeah.
divide.
Yeah, fractions are always fun when you get into the multiplication,
Yeah, for
divisions,
sure.
that you got to flip it and do this. Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Shut up! A fraction's already division of something.
That's true.
It's a percentage. Yeah.
I've already got the division of a
But-
whole.
But now,
It's 3/4.
but now
Shut
at a
up.
time you don't need to know that anymore. Like it's not important to know fractions
Because computers.
because computers. We have some sort of CAD system that can do it for you.
Yeah, and again, times have changed, and that is fair.
Could you say the same about education too? Because literally, you could learn anything online.
You can search anything online, but again, one of the things that I hope my kids get that I feel like I got, which is you can search for online, but do you understand it?
Yeah.
As long as you have the proper instruction.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. Like, do I fully remember all the math, science, biology things? No, I would search it online, of course.
Of course.
But when I see it online, I have a little bit of that base somewhere
That's
deep
true.
in here of
All
Frame of
anybody
reference.
needs for life and education is the DVD series from the BBC called Look Around You.
Oh
That's all anybody
Yes.
ever needs.
Shout out to Look Around You. If you've not seen it, fucking brilliant.
If you
Brilliant,
can, if you can
brilliant.
find it
If-
I
now,
don't know if
yeah.
I've ever seen it. But
Oh, we are going on a trip for you, sir.
man.
you can't even find it on YouTube's anymore.
Oh, don't
They
worry.
took it off the YouTubes and
I know where to find it.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, because BBC picked it up
Yeah.
and turned it into a series, so they took it down from the YouTubes. Remember how we were able to watch full episodes?
Yes, yes.
You can literally watch like a minute.
Wow.
On the
Interesting.
YouTubes now.
Oh, this will
I
be
need
my
to-
mission.
Yeah,
I will go
I
find
wanna
this.
find it now too.
I will go
because
find
it's-
this, and we will do a whole freaking marathon. We'll do a
it's
Twitch stream
brilliant.
of us watching Look Around You, and people are just like, "What the fuck are they laughing at?" Like, you need to see the show. You need to.
What's,
I-
what's in a pencil case?
I love it.
Gary gum.
Best.
Anti-Gary gum.
Anti-Gary gum.
When you've had too much Gary gum.
As you can see, this ants carrying the ice.
I have
Thanks,
not
Hans.
seen
Thanks,
this.
Eds.
I'm going to have to
It's-
try and do some.
You remember,
It's
basically,
brilliant.
without going into too much detail, but remember those really old, you didn't see too much in high school, but in public school, those really old, crappy educational videos they would show you. They're just from like the 70s. and
Sometimes
80s.
Sometimes they were on like one of those film reels. That
Oh
would
yeah,
do
back
just-
in the
Yeah,
day.
and they had
yeah.
the audio cassette accompanying
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, those. So it's basically those, but absolute nonsense and
Really?
absolute absurdity.
But it's delivered in a manner that's like deadpan,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
so
I'm
it's,
gonna
it's
try.
serious, but it's
What's
not.
what are we
at
gonna
all.
look around? What are we gonna talk about today? Have we figured it out? I figured it out, and then they show somebody's like pouring water in the back of a TV. That's right. We're going to talk about water. It's like,
And at the
Interesting.
beginning, they goes. It shows like an apothecary kind of shelf, right, with a whole bunch of little medicine bottles. And it's like one was water. Then the episode of maths.
Maths.
He picks up a bottle and it says maths, as if maths
Interesting.
was
In
stored
a
this
bottle.
it's so good.
It's hilarious.
It's
Or
so
music.
good.
There's a music one.
Yeah, I have to admit, I don't think I've ever seen this. Okay, I'm gonna have to try and
So
find.
funny.
Yeah, I
It's
will
so
have
good.
to
It's
try.
kind of
and
like
find.
a Monty Python-y deadpan sort of
yeah.
delivery.
It would definitely fall in
Interesting.
line with their
Yeah.
type of work. But it's
Very
it's
British.
fantastic.
So good.
Fantastic. And I agree. That's all
But
you
that's
need
all
for
ever-
education. You don't need anything else, really.
The one where the guy keeps dipping his hand in the fucking water.
Boiling water. What an idiot. Sorry. So good. Oh my
I
god.
want to go find that.
I'm
now.
I'm going to. That is my
If
mission.
you
as soon
find
as we're
it,
done.
link- if you
oh,
find it,
bro,
link.
Well,
we will
share-
all have
share
it. We will
it.
all have it.
Fuck.
No worries. Look around you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. What can I say? Here's a question. I'm not sure where we are in our conversation, but if you could go back and either A, do something the same, relive it, or do something different of your high school days, what would that be?
I would love to go back and relive it with a bit of a fast forward button.
Get through the boring parts.
Yeah, you know, and again, don't get me wrong, the boring parts are important, blah, 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 humanity, blah, blah. But again, if I'm given this option of going back and doing it again,
Yeah.
in a perfect utopian whatevers, yeah, I go back, do it again as it is,
Mm.
with a little bit of a fast forward button in there.
Yeah. What about you, AJ?
I would try.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would go and I would
More effort.
I would try.
Yeah.
And I'd put more effort into it and just get it done and dealt with then.
Yeah, like 'cause there's some things I know were I stupid things, dumb things. Dave, what the hell you think? And not the nice things necessarily, just doing stupid, dumb things that could have caused pain
Yeah.
or hurt in other people, right? And then, but I also look at it going, yeah, but if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have realized how stupid I was, which means I
Yeah.
wouldn't have learned a lesson.
Lesson learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you. A little bit of both. I think I would like to relive it because I really did enjoy a lot of my experience, but I would try a lot harder. I would, because honestly, outside of media endeavors, I don't even know if I really applied myself.
Yeah,
much
that's
at
where I
all.
was fortunate because I had a lot of fun in my grade 10 and
Yeah.
something clicked properly where I was a little bit, as I said, I came back more onto the doing what
Yeah.
I needed to do. So
You probably at that point might have figured out what you wanted to do for the rest of your life, and then applied yourself thusly.
I did
right?
actually.
Like, okay, I need to
Yeah.
do this if I want to do this.
Yeah, I was fairly certain I was getting into computers because
Yeah.
that's what I
Right,
loved. It just
so-
worked. It clicked in my
You
brain.
need your
Sure.
maths and your sciences and all that.
Oh,
kind
you
of
need your
stuff, right?
Google abilities to go and figure out what the
Oh,
answer is.
No, at that point you were asking Jeeves, sir.
No, for
Yeah,
sure,
fair enough,
for
fair
sure.
You were web crawling
That's
on
true.
Netscape.
That's
That's
how
true.
you say, yeah,
Oh my
good old
goodness.
times.
Oh, geez. Well, I'll tell you this: if they had a course in South Park, I would have fucking aced that. That's for sure.
Oh, like all the shit they have in colleges nowadays and
I
stuff
know!
like that.
studying the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm like, what?
Right.
What?
But you have to remember for things like that, don't get me wrong, if you're into it, do it. Like,
Sure.
especially if it gets you going. But and this is what I'm okay with.
Mm.
Because great, yeah, you'll get that wonderful certificate that you've successfully completed this course. You can't do anything, no, but maybe you as a person found it enjoyable. 'Cause you're
That's-
hanging out with a whole bunch of other people that want this.
Yeah, I took a college mixology course when I was 18,
Nice.
something like that. I don't think I ever actually received a paper for it.
Well, yeah, I'm being a little. Yeah.
I did pass it though, but
Yeah.
it served me
No, it will. Yeah, there are always
absolutely
things.
no
Yeah.
Isn't
benefit whatsoever other than knowing how to make a drink
Yeah.
properly.
there's a few degrees?
That's
I'm
a good
sure, or
benefit.
yeah,
I'm just
few
want to
classes
throw
like
that
that.
out there.
I'm sure a philosophy degree is the same thing, right? I mean, like,
Well, no, it is.
that's
But
good for
and
it.
that's
Good
what
for
I
you,
mean,
you
though.
know
Well, I don't know. It
philosophy.
Yeah.
could be.
Well done,
Well done, sir. Good job.
Yeah, no, it's always that balance. Yes, you need to be able to take care of yourself, get a job, things of this nature. But along with that, as long as you are happy, taking care of yourself, taking care of people you have responsibility to do so, all right, you do you to a certain extent,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. What if degrees are going to be necessary in the future? But like, now, you watch a YouTube
Yes,
video.
and so no, and again, it always depends on the thing, but I do believe that more and more there'll be, and we kind of touched on already, where the idea of finishing high school and going and getting a job, anything is possible. Of course, you can go and
Sure.
do deliveries.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, you need generally something.
Well,
Yeah,
extra.
you could do deliveries. You see how many of these people? I don't know, because you live in an apartment,
I do.
and I don't know how often you order like skip the dishes or
No,
Uber
it
Eats
has
or anything like that.
periodically. I will admit.
Have you ever seen the vehicles that these motherfuckers pull up in? They're pulling up in fucking Mercedes.
I have
seen nice ones.
BMWs.
That's true.
This is true.
Like I don't think I've ever seen anything less than a decent Dodge Caravan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
you're
Like how the fuck?
Well, I have to admit, this is one of those things. I generally go through the Uber
Mhm.
just because I already have
Yeah.
the account and everything. But again, I got to give a bit of a plus to Uber as an organization. I'm not saying that they're great, so hey, don't yell at me. I'm not an expert, but the Uber, the people that you're ordering food from, 2 minutes later could be picking somebody up and dropping somebody off.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Eh?
That's
More
they can
efficient.
intertwine.
Have you ever noticed with have you ever looked at your bank account after ordering Uber Eats?
Yeah, they're funny.
How they take your money out,
Put
and
it
then
back.
put it back,
Take it out.
Yeah.
take it
That's
out.
really
And
messed
take out
up.
the tip.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I know, it is
Why
weird.
would you give me a panic attack?
Yeah, I have to admit, even I've looked at going, what the F? And I do the, oh no, okay, it's fine,
That's
it's fine.
fine, yeah, yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
sure.
I don't have a grok with that either. It is one of those,
Roll
Why?
thinking.
yeah, like, it's because again, I can somewhat understand where they need to pre-apply while they get the order and then confirm that you're okay with it before, but I guess it's just why give us money back if we don't complain? Wait for the complaint. If I complain,
Yeah.
Right, like skip the
Yeah.
dishes takes your fucking money.
I'm assuming it's some sort of
I don't.
system.
Uber,
thing.
call us up and explain
Yeah,
this, please.
explain this to us. Yeah,
Yeah.
please do. And
Sold.
give us some free food and rides too.
That's exactly what we would need to test this out. We need some sort of credit
Yeah, we would.
from Uber
test the
for
system.
to test the system.
Send us a
Agreed.
credit card. We probably need like a $10,000 max or something
At
to
Oh
least.
yeah, just a
really-
max. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We
yeah.
don't want to. Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't want
we
to
don't wanna push
overdo it. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
no,
not.
no,
Yeah,
we don't
no.
wanna push it.
But to the point of degrees. Sorry, this makes me laugh at that sentence. I mean, yeah, who knows? Because the world's going to change, and
Well, I think there would be
Oh, yeah.
degrees.
I
Yeah.
misunderstood your
necessity?
degree.
Degrees of necessity for a degree.
Yeah, but I think for like sort of if you're going on a point, like I think there's certain jobs
No, you're not.
you're gonna have
He's
to.
not sorry at all.
No, that's right. That you're gonna have to need further education for. Like I don't think you're gonna be able to get into to a PhD without.
Oh no,
No,
that
the
and
PhD
post-secondary.
is that.
Exactly right.
and even other
So-
things. I'd say even other things like trades.
Yeah,
That's
it's trades.
more it.
Yes,
Like,
index. Exactly.
I understand you
yes,
can take wood shop, you can take auto body shop,
Yeah.
you
Sure.
can take metal shop in high school,
Yeah.
but you're not going to gain all of the knowledge you
Knowledge,
need
right.
to have a successful career unless you go to a trade school.
I
Correct.
could see trades being far more valuable and important than say degrees.
To
I
a
could
certain
see
extent,
that.
things
they
go back
already
and forth.
are.
Yeah,
I
things
think
go
they
back and
already
forth.
are.
Yep. No, I agree.
Why do you think you're paying a fucking plumber to? Now, no offense to any plumbers. This is just my
Yeah,
experience
Yeah,
with
do not associate that fucking
with
yeah,
with this. But plumbers go to a trade school.
But I should.
Have you ever actually done plumbing?
yeah.
Have you
A
ever
little
played
bit,
Pipe Dream for Nintendo?
Yep.
Yes.
Where you have the little
Yep.
pieces
Yeah,
of
yeah,
pipes
of
and you have
course.
Yeah,
it's the same fucking thing.
Sure.
yeah. One small
At least for what
deviation.
I mean, gravity
Mm,
and,
one other deviation.
and connects
Yeah, one other deviation.
and glue.
Yeah, there's that. And poop.
And poop. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but see,
Do you want
you
to
don't
touch on poop?
necessarily need to know how to handle the poop because we all know how to handle the poop. Ew, that's fucking gross, and go wash yourself up. I don't think you need to go to plumbing
But
school to learn how to
I
wash
to
your
a certain
fucking
extent,
hands.
I again, I'm not for sure. We'll have to get a plumber on here to really discuss. But I got the joy of fixing our toilet upstairs, and I have to admit, the only thing that was a saving grace, at least I knew, 98% of the poop that I was able to encounter was at least mine and my family's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's
your
like
poop.
your only like way to get through it, right?
Oh, it'd be worse to be a plumber and have
Well,
to
that's what
deal
I
with
mean.
other people's
Of course.
shit.
Yeah,
And that's
right?
what they're getting paid for. I think.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
part.
because I can understand woodworking because I fucking
There's a
can't.
skill. Oh yeah,
yeah.
baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you even have to be an artist
I
to a
think so.
a
degree
consistent
to do that
artist
kind of shit.
too.
Because like
Yeah.
I know how to work a saw, and I know the
And how to cut.
right. I know the old adage: measure twice, cut once.
Hmm.
I could measure 57 and a half times,
Yeah.
cut once, and it'll still be fucking wrong.
Yeah.
That's true,
Or on a fucking angle.
Or yeah,
yeah,
not-
I've done that so many times.
but
For what little I've done.
But yeah, I don't know. I think trades are looked at as more, other than doctors and lawyers and stuff like that. It is looked at as a higher.
Oh no, it is.
Like if you have
Yeah.
that ticket,
Yeah.
you're fucking good, dude. You
I
could
hope so.
probably find a job.
Yeah.
Whereas I went to college.
Yeah.
I paid
Mhm.
X amount of money to go to college and learn a skill, which could technically, in theory, be considered some kind of engineering.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, you are an audio engineer by your.
But just because I went to that school and got that piece of paper and got that, it doesn't mean I have a job to show
Mhm.
for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas if you applied yourself to look for this job and you had that woodworking or that carpentry,
It helps. It's an
right,
assist.
or that electrician,
Yep.
because fucking electricity,
Well, you
man, I
must
wouldn't
know
want to
electrician.
fuck with that. You definitely
No.
need to go
Right.
to school to learn about
Yeah.
that shit.
Sure.
Right?
Positive,
Electricity is
negatives.
fucking. Well, there's not only that. There's fucking, wattages and voltages and
Yeah, man.
impedance.
Have we
and
all been
that kind of
electrocuted?
crazy
I know
shit.
he has. I know I have
Oh,
been.
fucking right.
Yeah, it sucks. It's not fun.
Oh, yeah.
and you need to be safe to not do that.
Yeah,
For
right?
sure. Yeah.
And that was only by a little wall outlet kind of thing. Could you imagine being the dude who has to plug that thing into your fucking house?
I did it on a 240 volt. In an
Yeah.
apartment building.
Mhm.
That's
I didn't-
why you have curly hair.
Well, no. See, it was funny. We were having issues with the oven. Open up the breaker thing, and we're in an old apartment. I'm like, well, this is so weird. And there was this weird metal thing that was crossing two sections,
Okay.
and I thought it was just like a cover for the actual fuses.
Yeah.
So I reach up, like, thank God I happened to have my shoes on. And thank God I actually touched it with a
Fork?
screwdriver. No, not
Yeah,
a fork, a
screwdriver.
screwdriver.
Yeah.
And I pull away.
Ground
And
it.
what's great about it is the black mark, the little bit of melted metal. And I'm like, well, I'm still here.
Dude, you could have died.
Yeah.
Like,
it
that's crazy, man. Like,
it's just one of the.
Oh yeah, that's like
I
heart
learned a
stopping
lesson.
instantly.
oh my
kind of
god.
shit.
Oh my god.
It was great. Yeah, I had
Oh.
the spark, the shock. Oh, it was a good time.
Could have had yourself some fry balls.
Yeah, called the landlord, and what I love about it, she comes in, she flicks some switch, she goes, "Oh yeah, you blew a fuse," plugs it back in, click. I'm like, Well, we don't need to talk about what I did about 20 minutes ago, do we?
And that's why you go to school, kids.
Or if you're about to touch something like electricity and you're not sure, stop.
Just stop. Just
Don't
stop.
don't guess. Don't be
Stop.
poking it with a
Make
Exactly.
sure you have
screwdriver.
rubber on your soles.
That was the one thing that
Yeah.
I think might, because I did have shoes
Don't
on.
be wearing,
Yeah.
leather soled dress shoes. or
Yeah,
something
no,
like
I
that.
had shoes on. That's I think what may have helped a bit that day.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I just sparked. Good times.
Indeed. Oh man, that was crazy. Well, do we have any other high school memories we'd like to talk about?
No, I covered all mine. It was just, hey, good time. I'm glad I got to
Not that I
experience.
can remember.
You're high the whole time.
Nicely done.
For sure. You out there, what was your high school experience like?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you've been there. Maybe your experience is a bit more recent than ours.
Or longer.
Or
out.
longer out, whatever. We want to know. Share your experiences within the comments. Let us know your thoughts. Communicate with us. Just talk to us. We like talking to people. So please let us know about your experiences through high school and beyond, and we'd like to discuss that further. For anybody out there that's not feeling well mentally upstairs, we just want to let you know that you matter, not just to us, but to those that are around you. And it's important to talk about what those thoughts and feelings that you got going on through your head. So if you can't do that with us or with anybody that's around you, we're gonna leave a link up in our some links up in our description so you can find some help if necessary. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
David.
Goo 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 goo, I am the Eggman.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
That
right
was
on.
good.
Definitely not the walrus. That's for
No.
sure. No,
No,
for sure.
I am the Eggman. Goo 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 goo.
Good shit.
I'm not no fucking walrus. What's wrong with you?
Oh, you don't want to call out people's body structure.
No,
Chris.
you
That's
don't.
just
No,
rude.
that's just rude. It's 2022, people. Come on, now. Come on. And just like that, you got yourself sarcastically distracted. Thanks so much for joining us and being a part of our.
Take care, all.
Bye now.
Bye.